Hello ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to discuss purple potatoes. Yes, I bought these at my local Hannaford's. These particular purple potatoes are getting ready for planting, which means I can't eat them. However, I've got two batches of them in the oven right now, and I'm going to show you guys what those look like when they're cut open. Now this is a tiny one. This is a tiny one, which we can probably cut open. I think I can definitely give this thing a cut. Alright, so you guys see that, right? Excuse me for the editing because I'm doing this all one-handed. I should have had this pre-prepared. So here we go. That is what the purple potato looks like in its entirety. Now this little purple potato I probably can eat, but I'm just showing you guys. I probably will be just planting these right in the ground. That one I'm not too worried about. It's just a tiny potato and I wanted to show you guys. But as you can see, these are rooted, right? You can see that real plain. Now let me show you what the purple potato looks like when you plant it. This is the purple potato in the beginning of its lifespan. What you're seeing down there are some baby carrots that I planted. Yes, I am going to be spreading them out in a blue tray, which I got down there. I got some planting, well, it's not planting soil, it's organic manure, but I plant them directly into the manure. And over here, as you can see, these are the potato plants, and the leaves look like this. So when they are what you saw just a few minutes ago, you plant them in the ground about 8 inches. These will grow for about 60 days. Now these were straight up, but it's approaching its 90-day limit. So I've had this in the bucket for about 60 days, and I think it's got about another 30 days, and as you can see, it's already starting to wither. Once they are totally withered, I dump them into a wheelbarrow, and I just sort out the purple potatoes. But you can buy them either at Hannaford's or you can grow your own. If you want a large quantity, I suggest growing your own. Purple potatoes consist of antioxidants and other vitamins and minerals that you'll find in blueberries. So they're very, very healthy for you. More healthier than the standard potato. It's got less starch, and I think it's just a superfood that people should try to grow more often. But as part of prepping, you should always choose the best vegetable to eat, and that, in my opinion, is the purple potato. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, these are the final products. These are the purple potatoes after they're baked. You know, they baked up a little brown. They still retain their color. And as you can see, the purple is still very vibrant. Bake them. Do not boil them. I'm not exactly sure about steaming them, but I prefer baking them because they'll retain all their vitamins and minerals. And if you boil them, they will turn white and you will have no nutrition in them. So just keep that in mind. I bake them, and then I'll cut them up like this for doing like potato and onion fry, stir fry, or you could do French fries with them, or anything really. But I would recommend cooking them. I did make French fries with these. They came out very good. Make sure to brush on some olive oil. When I baked these, I had to brush on olive oil, and I put in a little butter as well. But, that's the same with doing French fries, right? You cut them up into French fries, brush on a little olive oil, stick them in the oven. Probably, the cook time you know, like $3.75 for approximately at least an hour and a half. Alright, and that's the full process. Part of prepping, guys, is to make sure you have all the stuff. Now, as you guys can see, I got my salt here, Murray River salt. I also have, you guys can see that blue salt. Then I got Himalayan salt over here. I've got some Hawaiian salt. Different salts do help in the kitchen, so as part of prepping, I always make sure I have plenty of varieties. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here are the garlic. Alright, so I planted these before winter. Now look at them. They've spruced right up. I just planted over here some cucumbers, green peppers, so you're not going to see those yet. But over here, second bed, same thing. Look at the garlic. Really coming together. And over here, I planted some onions just a week ago. And they're starting to sprout up. So you can see some of them starting to take off. I'm hoping the onions make it. They're a little bit weak right now where I had them in the house for 3 weeks. I just planted some carrots over here. Tomato, I put tomato in here. And cucumber over here. And I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me see here. Get my hand down here. Here we go. See that? That is potato. All right, and I got quite a few of these potatoes. One here. I got a few over here. I think I got some on this side too. You can see the potato root popping up through. I got another one over here. So there's potatoes underneath there growing. So maybe we'll get some potatoes this year. I did plant some lettuce. I think the lettuce, I have it over here in the second bed. So right in this area will be lettuce. You know, we'll have to see. I think that's a weed. Yeah, that's a weed. That's important to weed this friggin' thing once in a while. These red things, I'm not sure what they are, but I want to get them out of here as much as possible. You can see what I'm doing. I'm picking out these red things. You really don't want those getting in there. They're like a seed to a tree, and it can blowing off the trees. It contaminated everything. So now you have to get right in here and pick them out. You know, if you got some grass growing in there, you got to get that out of there. You know. Yeah. I got some more of those red things in there, but we're going to have to pick them out slowly. But I just wanted to show you guys my garden. These 3 beds are taken off like Miracle-Gro. And we'll just do an update every couple of weeks. Alright everybody, here's the garlic. Look how freaking huge it is. Now, some of these might be weeds. I'm not entirely sure because I did plant a bunch of seeds in between these. So I need to let plants get a little bigger before I start weeding anything, because I have to know what they are. I do have an onion here, as you guys can see. There's an onion. Alright, some more plants over this way, but like I said, I don't know if these are weeds or the actual plants, so I'll have to let them get a little bit bigger. Again, over here, look how huge these garlics are. And of course the onions. Look how big those onions are coming in, guys. Right? These are onions over here. See? Those are the onions. They look a lot like garlic. They're a little bit thinner. But you guys can see the onions coming in. I think this is going to turn out to be a really good year for garlic. And here it is, everybody. Potatoes. Look how nice those are growing in. Right? I mean, look how beautiful those are. Right? I mean, they're really growing in really nice here. And guys, I found some indications of carrots coming in. Look at those. Those are carrots right there. So I planted carrots all up and down. I do see some, you know, indication here of them coming in right there. Those are carrots. Right? And more carrots over this way. So carrots are coming. We've got carrots. Cucumber, I did see indication of cucumber here. This is where I planted some cucumbers. On this side, I'm not sure what I planted here. Don't look like nothing's growing on this side. So I might buy some store plants and put them in. But guys, you know, everything's looking fantastic in the garden here. I think more root vegetables are growing than, you know, any other vegetable. And that's good. I mean, we're going to have some good potatoes. I'm going to show you guys another clip. But over here, guys, purple potatoes. See that? That's purple, and it's actually growing much better than it did when it was in the buckets. All right, my buckets were basically failed. When I took them out of the buckets, there was absolutely nothing. The potato itself kind of like revived itself, but didn't produce any extra potatoes. But it's reseeded itself. It's reseeded itself. I think if I allow the potatoes to reseed themselves in the soil and, you know, just leave them in the soil, they'll spread out, you know, and we'll get good potatoes, hopefully. Because the ones we planted this winter, it grew a plant but didn't produce no potatoes. So you have to leave them in the soil and just let them re-sprout. You might have to let them re-sprout a couple of times, who knows. That's the advice of somebody online. Just let them re-sprout, because they will grow. You just have to give them time. And I got one bucket I haven't transplanted yet. I noticed that it's already sprouted, so I'm just going to let it grow in the bucket and let it re-sprout. Alright, so that's the garden for today. Some fantastic crops. And look how huge those are. Fantastic. And we'll tune in with the next little bit that I post, you know, later.